I'm Chris, and I'm the creator of ZenTransfer, and we just launched. So it's 1 day old, and I wanted to take you through the product and see what it is. And ZenTransfer is created for photographers that need to get files super quickly from where they're shooting. That could be on location, you could be a photojournalist, you could be a wedding photographer, you could be an event photographer, but you want to deliver your files to either your assistants or someone else as soon as at all possible. So the product is available on ZenTransfer.io. I'm guessing you know how to sign up to a web service, so I won't go into that, and I'll just dive into the dashboard so you know what the service can do. On the top here you can see the number of files you've transferred and the number of bytes when your FTP credentials were used the last time the file was uploaded. And I'll come back to the monitor and the browser that you see here, and you can see your subscription status. So the important thing in ZenTransfer is that it runs FTP servers in the cloud. In fact, we run servers all across the globe, so it will be super fast to upload no matter which country you're in. And you find your credentials here, so you see the address to our server, you see your username, obviously you can't see my password here, and that's what you plug into the camera. So the files will be sent to that server. That's an intelligent FTP server, so once we have the file, we'll start doing stuff. And that stuff is, 1, you can save your file to Dropbox or Google Drive. So that means they appear instantly on your assistants, mobile phones, Macs, PCs, whatever. Wherever you are, those files are easily accessible. For those that have sort of more infrastructure, you can save to Amazon S3 or to Azure Blob Storage. So that gets your files to really resilient, high-speed storage wherever you are. And then finally, and this is the cherry on the cake, is the Zapier integration. And Zapier is this automation platform that lets you build basically any kind of workflow integrated with any kind of web service. So simply hit the button here, create Zapier integration, and that will allow you to set up a Zap that gets notifications as soon as something happens in ZenTransfer. Zapier knows it and can start doing its magic. Finally, you have an API key, and that lets you access the API in ZenTransfer as well if you're into coding. So that's it, right? Let's see how it works. And now I would have loved to show you how this works from a real camera. But for the sake of this demo, I'll just use a normal FTP client. But first I'll switch into the monitor here. So we can see this is an empty account. Currently nothing in the monitor, but this is where we will get real-time notifications as files arrive. So let me go over here and have a look at FileZilla, which is this good old FTP client. FTP has been around for 50 years and it still works. So just to prove that you can use this with any kind of camera, I've taken a Fuji, Leica and Sony file here, and I'll simply pull those over. And ZenTransfer automatically detects where you are in the world and routes you to the fastest server for you, and you can see we're getting these relatively big files up. And what happens on the FTP server is that if we refresh here, you see that it changes the files to .processed as they're picked up and ingested into the system. And that file contains some metadata that allows you to use the file. So again, for those of you that are nerdy about this, there's some cool stuff in there. Here's the monitor. So you can see the files coming in and they're being processed by the system. And here you can see we have a thumbnail in, and all of these icons, all of the integrations are now lighting up green. That means they were successful. So the file has been transferred to Dropbox, Google Drive, Amazon, Azure, and we run something on Zapier. So on top of that, you have a download button. So the server stores your file for 24 hours. So in that period, you'll be able to download the file, or you can just hit delete here and get rid of it immediately. If something fails, they'll show up here with red signals so that you know what happened. And this page will just keep refreshing and show the last files that have gone through in the system. If you sort of want to access all of those photos that are available for 24 hours, hit browse, and you'll see thumbnails of them. You'll be able to move from page to page. And again, you have the download and delete buttons here. So if I go over to my folder in Google Drive and hit refresh, you can see those files are now safely stored in Google. I'll go to Dropbox, they're here. And finally, if I go to Zapier and refresh my history, you can see that 2 of them have gone through, and the last one has stopped here in Zapier, basically because I have a free account. So I have a limit on how many of these I can run in a single day. So let's go back to the dashboard. That's basically it. It's just there in the background doing its magic and available wherever you are. So it doesn't matter if you're in studio, on location, on the street doing street photography, as long as you have a hotspot or some kind of Wi-Fi connection from your camera, ZenTransfer is here ready to automate that delivery part of your workflow. And I'm really looking for input into how this service can be better. It's an early product. We're still in beta, and I'm publishing my changelog and the roadmap. So I'm really looking forward to people interested in this, how you're using it, what's useful, and what you would like to see in the future of the service. So I think if you look closely, you'll find my email address even on this page. So don't hesitate to reach out or just leave some comments on this video.